Lion King.
Oh. Hello there.
Hi there.
Oh, you are
Hi
right.
there. What shall we call you?
Yes, call me Hakuna Matata. I think Brother Yemen calls me Pumba.
Pumba.
Yes, Pumba.
That's
Yeah, we've met before, so he knows my name.
That's a reference from Lion King, if you guys are wondering who that is.
Yes.
Okay, which one do you prefer?
Oh, call me Hakuna Matata. I prefer Hakuna Matata.
No problem. What's on your mind today?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on. It's a pleasure. I've listened keenly to the discussions that you've been having, and I think it all boils down to very few issues, I think. It's all about consciousness, knowledge, space and time. And when it's expressed within space and time, where does it come from? What is knowledge? What is space and time? And is God bound by those attributes, knowledge, space and time?
Okay,
Now,
so before we answer any of those, do you actually believe in God?
yes, I do believe in God, but my God is a bit controversial.
Well, any controversial than the Hindu guy we had earlier?
Yes, because my God is actually the God of science.
So who preceded what? Did science come first or did God come first, according to you?
Of course, we are in search of this God through science, using the lenses of science.
No, but what came first?
When you say science, would you mind just explaining to us what you mean by science?
Oh, I mean falsifiability, verifiability of what we claim. And we also have the observation part of it, repeatability of what we claim and reliability, using the utility available to assert certain assumptions. Can I carry on?
Essentially, you're talking about the scientific method. That's what.
Let's hear the full definition, and Yemeni can come in, inshallah. So go ahead, Hakuna Matata. Just so you were saying about verifiability, you're talking about falsifiability, you're talking about reliability, and you're talking about repeatability. Carry on. I've got.
And also, when I say reliability, I'm saying, is it accurate? Is it utilizable? Can we have a utility? Something that we can use on a daily basis? Or is it just a vague claim, a supernatural claim out there? But this is roughly me. But what I really wanted to speak about today is about what you've been discussing with other guests. It's mostly about the understanding of consciousness, space-time, and where it comes from. And also a surah in the Quran, which roughly points us towards that direction. Then we can find out if that surah is contradictory.
Because before we go into this, because you've already put a framework of your thinking, it's a paradigm. And this paradigm seems to be, as Brother Yemeni was talking about, pointing towards the scientific method, which is naturally what we called, by its very nature, it's methodological naturalism. Right?
It could be philosophical as well.
Or philosophical naturalism. So basically, you've already limited your scope, which is there is no supernatural. And all we can get within with this tool is what is within this methodology. So you've already limited your search and created a bias. Okay, so now this is pseudoscience, clearly, because when you have a defective tool, you cannot get the right answer. If you're searching for an answer, you've limited the scope of your tool and saying, oh, I will only use this tool. If I gave you a mirror, okay, imagine this iPhone does have a mirror, and I said, okay, tell me, how does your back look like? You might have to try this and that. You can't, because this is not adequate and sufficient tool to look at your back properly. You might need actually 2 mirrors or more. Okay, if I give you a mirror which is broken, shattered, or very dusty, and I said, okay, see how you look like with clarity, You won't be able to, because this tool is not adequate if there's already a limitation within the tool, embedded within tool. Okay, so when you bring scientism in to understand the reality, questions about consciousness, questions about space-time and so on, you've already got a defective tool. And that's why we disagree with you, to engage with you further in answering any question in search of the truth, because we do not agree with a defective tool to start with, to begin with. Now, Yemeni, you're going to say something before you reply. Yemeni, go ahead, Yemeni.
No, it was just as he was describing, I was going to say essentially what you said, that he's using the scientific method, and that will not, I mean, you claim to believe in a God, and it sort of circles back to the question that I think Hashim was asking, what came first, God or science? Right?
Now,
so if you have the scientific method to try and explain God, it's a defective tool. Because
search for God.
Yeah, well, you can't search for the supernatural with a tool that only measures the natural world.
Yeah, and anything metaphysical, science is redundant, actually.
Do you mean that God is supernatural, and you, as a religious person, you must use your natural? Yeah, you must use. But you cannot escape.
Listen to the point. Metaphysical. Okay. For example, do you believe you have a soul?
Yes, I do.
Is that physical or metaphysical?
It is metaphysical, but I'm coming there.
And any of the scientific method which you mentioned earlier, can it verify your soul with any of those methods?
If you allow me, just 1 minute.
God, I'm allowing you.
Okay. As a person who's going to have a supernatural claim, like the Quran claims, you are also going to use your natural intuition and human instinct, experience and experimentation and common sense to figure out if the Quran is telling the truth. You cannot escape. You cannot escape the scientific method.
No, so
when you are also gone.
Just to stop you there. When it comes to our claim of the miraculous nature of the Quran, what makes it a miracle is because any natural explanation is exhausted, right? So we cannot, even when you look at all the possible natural explanations for how the Quran came to be in the form that it is, in the language that it is, all the natural possibilities have been exhausted and cannot explain the Quran, hence making it a metaphysical or supernatural.
Brother Yemeni, look, read for me Surah 52, ayat 35.
No, hold on. Before that, look, I asked you a simple question about your soul. Can you use the scientific method or even common sense or whatever to come to an objective understanding of the soul?
No, you can use the subjective to assess the objective.
But that's not scientific.
Of course it is scientific. You're using the subjective tool.
Give me one scientist who uses subjective understanding as a scientific explanation of anything. Give me one scientist who does that.
Who does? Sorry, say that again.
Give me any credible scientist who uses subjective understanding to come to a conclusion to make it an objective understanding of anything in the world.
I'm just gonna, if you allow Brother Yemeni to read that for me, I'm going to do that for you.
Before you do that, answer the question.
Do that for you.
Because you see, the reason, what I'm trying to make you understand is that.
I'll give you an example for that.
Hakuna, just 1 second. Try to understand the point I'm making here, because it looks like you missed the point.
I know. You're asking me, can I repeat your question? You're asking me, give me an example of someone that has used a subjective tool to come up with an objective answer. True?
Yeah. And what's your answer to that?
As Brother Yemeni, if Brother Yemeni reads that, I am going to sort of like then lead you there to exactly the question you're asking.
That question which you just mentioned was a secondary question. Do you remember my primary question? Wait. Yes. But do you remember my primary question?
Yes.
What is the primary question?
About the soul.
What about the soul?
You said the soul. You asked me, do I have a soul? I said yes. Can I use the scientific method to measure the soul, or to find out more about the soul?
And what was your answer to that?
My answer was, we can use a subjective view to come up with to assess an objective view.
What tool are you using?
Okay. So now you're saying that tool is scientific. Is that what you're saying?
They are the scientific
using
method.
A subjective tool to
assess,
come to an understanding about something as an objective.
Let's hear him. Okay, so now science already
is all I got.
No, Hakuna. Scientists are not not unaware of this question about the soul. Okay, they know all about it. They know. So now, since you're going to use the scientific tools to understand and to verify the soul, would you not expect that scientists would have done that already? And they would have said, there you go, bingo, we've got the answer through science, and now we know the existence of the soul.
I just have a feeling that he's going to ask a question with a question from the Quran.
Did you understand?
Unless and until he considers the Quran as a scientific tool.
Give me a chance, and then we can go on from there.
Okay. So as long as the question with a question.
Yeah. So Hakuna, would we not have expected by now scientists using the scientific method, as you are putting it forward, to understand the soul? They should have already known whether the soul exists or not. You believe the soul exists. Okay. So science, using the same tool that you are asking them to use, they would have already done so and got an answer. So what is the answer by the scientist on the existence of the soul? How come you got the answer and they failed?
No, I did not say I have the answer. I said we are searching for it.
Oh, so you don't believe.
So what's the basis of your belief for a soul then, if you're already searching for an answer?
Yes, a belief is something, you accept something to be true without evidence.
Okay,
so it's now by faith then, is that what you're saying?
Now, so science is obviously
blind faith.
It's not blind faith, it's scientific faith.
How can scientific be faith?
Yeah.
Of course, science is faith.
No, the science method is based on you've laid it out yourself, right?
Exactly. You told us the scientific methodology.
On observation, testing.
Yes.
You know, so these are objective things. When you observe something,
and reliability, is it reliable?
Yeah, is it reliable? So what you've done is lay out an objective criteria, and then said that that you're using subjectivity to recognize that there's a soul.
To assess.
Well,
look, Cliam does not. Science does not claim absolute truth with capital T. We have subjective truths with small t.
Are you saying there's nothing objective?
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please.
Are you saying there's no objective truth?
There is objective truth. Mathematics
how can that not be certain then?
But mathematics is part of a scientific tool, which is an objective tool.
Exactly. So you're telling me 2 plus 2 is not certain that the answer is 4 all the time. It could be something different. Is that what you're saying?
Now that is a very, very long process. If I was to try and explain to you, there's a book you could read which tries to explain 1 plus 1 is not equal to.
But do you believe that book?
No.
Exactly. So asking me to read it.
You have to change the axioms. It's all about the axioms.
No, you can't change. Look. Axiomatic things cannot just be changed by a book or by somebody's opinion.
But they did do that. They did do that.
It's from God.
They did do that, and they realized if you just play around with the axioms a little bit, like the explanation, like for instance.
No, but you don't believe it. So what's the point of us going?
I was trying to show you. I was trying to show you that you can use an objective tool within the scientific view. Yeah, within the scientific method, you can use an objective tool using your own subjectivity.
By the way, let's go back to my first. The first question I asked you is if you believed in God, and you said yes.
Yes.
What is the name of your God?
Well, my name.
Not your name, your God's name.
Okay, let's do this.
You're a God.
I'm going to give you this answer. I'll give you this answer if you just answer one question for me. And this is
question with a question again.
No. You haven't even answered any question from me.
Sorry, I have answered several questions from you. You can watch the stream and you'll see. So tell me this. Look, it's a simple question. If you ask me what's the name of my God, I'll say Allah without hesitating. So why are you hesitating if you're so certain about your God?
Because I'll have to go quantum physics on you. I'll have to go quantum.
In order to get the name.
Yes.
Have you gone through the quantum physics? I don't know, algebra, trigonometry, whatever you want to go through. Have you found the solution?
We are looking. Look.
Before you go, sorry to interrupt.
Let me go there.
Sorry. I apologize to interrupt and interject. It's very important. What's your educational background on quantum physics, on quantum mechanics? What level have you studied?
Well, I would rather not say that if you don't mind.
Then we should not engage in quantum mechanics.
Okay. All right,
if you are not willing to disclose your knowledge of quantum mechanics, to what level?
Okay, I am an amateur.
Then there's no
amateur.
point discussing
Why
quantum
you
mechanics
going
with you.
into quantum
So
mechanics?
next question and next point, and then we'll get the next.
Okay,
next guest.
I'm well read. I'm well read. I'm well read.
Not interested anymore.
You should know the name of your God, if you're well read.
Okay, it's the name of my God is dark matter, quantum vacuum, and
so your God is a creation.
No, he's not a creation.
My God created your God.
Tell me how dark matter is a creation.
What do you mean?
Claimed now that dark matter is a creation or dark energy is a creation.
Okay, does dark matter exist?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
It is testable. Yes.
How is it testable?
We have. Are you actually claiming that dark matter doesn't exist?
No, I'm asking you. I'm not making.
I'm telling you, it's there. It's in the universe. It's testable.
Is it eternal?
Dark matter.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's eternal.
Yeah.
On what basis?
Based on the fact that we cannot see anything else outside it.
That doesn't make it eternal. Just because you can't see something outside of it doesn't make it eternal.
Okay, Hashim, I want to ask some series of questions. Hakuna,
yes.
What are the angels?
What are the current?
Question? Can I just
one second, Hakuna? You are now on a defense in a way to explain your position. So, what are the models of eternal universes that you are familiar with, and name some of them?
Now, do you want us to go through the quantum physics for me to explain my God?
No, you are an amateur there, so you don't need to go through because you won't be able to.
But now,
give me some of the names of the models of eternal universe models.
Okay, Brother Mansur, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
I would like you to tell me the different models that exist in the scientific community.
I do not know all
about
of them.
Eternal models of the universe. Go ahead.
I do not know all of them, and I don't have them in head at the moment. I have to check my notes.
Give me one model. One model.
Okay. By the way, do you believe dark matter is matter or it's metaphysical?
Hashim, you're letting him go.
It's not.
No, I'm still asking.
One model. One model.
Okay.
Yeah, one model.
I'm just about to explain to you one model. One of the models.
No, not explain. Give me the name of one model, and then the question will come obviously, as you know, which scientists proposed that model. Go ahead, without looking into Google.
No, I'm not even looking. I don't have my notes.
No problem.
I don't have my notes.
Okay, go ahead.
Now,
which model?
Do you want me to give you the model?
I've been asking several times.
I can't remember the name.
Okay, fair enough. Next guest, please. Thank you. Sorry. He's a waffler. He's a troll.
Interesting chap. Anyway, I like
He's a troll. He's a troll. Wasting our time. I mean, people in the back chat are losing their brain cells.